Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So, as you all know, Returnal came out and it's one of the first big games we're getting on the PlayStation 5, so, doing a video here for everybody, share my thoughts and opinions on my first, few hours of the game and, reflect on some of the things around the gaming ecosphere, so to speak. Now, played it for about 2 hours on Friday night, which gave me a blinding headache. I played it for about 3 hours on Saturday, and that gave me a headache as well. And I played it today for about an hour. I didn't get a headache that time, but I think there's a lot of flashing lights in a very dark and dingy type of underground type of atmosphere, and the atmosphere is amazing in the game, don't get me wrong, and the graphics are absolutely awesome, but some of the bright lights when you're fighting and you're shooting everything probably are a little bit impactful on your eyes, and that's why I've been getting a headache. But it looks like there's a few people out there online that have been experiencing the same type of thing, so I'm not going to hold that against the game. It's just a personal problem some people are probably having. But that's neither here nor there. So, the game starts at the beginning and obviously explains to you how the mechanics of the game work, how you dying and you return to the beginning every time if you die, and things in which you pick up in the game can be very different each time you restart or return to the beginning, and you could go through the game from the beginning and get loads of really decent pickups. And then some of the baddies and bosses and whatever are ridiculously easier because you've had better pickups, so to speak, and things to advance you to make you a much better character. However, they seem quite few and far between as to the good ones you need, but that's neither here nor there. The game is very hard. Very hard is probably putting it loose. It is extremely hard. Now, even with that said, and the amount of times I've died, I'm ridiculously enjoying the game. It's so much fun. I have managed to get just to the beginning of the first boss. I haven't got past the first boss. But just managing to be able to do that seemed like an absolute feat because of how hard the game is. But that didn't make me go, oh, I wish it was easier. If anything, it made me want to jump back on it and try a little bit harder. And that's the game in a nutshell. I have no idea what's going on story-wise because I haven't even got past the first boss yet. But I've played through the first hour or so to that first boss magnitude of times because you die quite a lot. So that means the game can be a little bit repetitive because you're obviously just going over and over and over. If you die frequently, you're going over the same stuff over and over again. But it's quite therapeutic when you're shooting the crap out of everybody. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I have seen online some people are managing to complete it in like 4.5 hours. And fine, if you're buying a game at ridiculous money, you want it to last probably longer than that. But then the longevity of the game, the way in which its mechanics work, there's probably a lot more longevity in it than you might think. Because if you die, you've got to do that first 2 hours again. So that means you're getting 6 hours. So it's a little bit misleading to see that people are going, oh, it's only 4.5 hours long. But no, because the replayability is there for the concept of how it's happening, and because of the way in which the game's dynamics are constantly evolving each time you return to the beginning, it's almost like you're playing a different game each time. So it's not like you're literally doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, fine, you're going from A to C or whatever, but the B middle part is all different. And if you've picked up different weapons and you're trying a different way, you know your weapons might mean that your playstyle is completely different for this playthrough. So I can see the replayability factor being really high on this game. Now, I really like Housemarque games in general, but I'm more fond of their ridiculously good game, Resogun, obviously. I absolutely adore Resogun, and I always will. But, I mean, like, you can't really fault this game too much because of the fact that those little Housemarque coolness factors that they do to their games is there in abundance. And I really like that, even down to the bit where you're transporting from like A to B on the teleporters. Like your body crumbles down, you're like little cubes. It's very, very much like something from a Resogun game. Now, that's cool. Do I want them to make an easy mode? No. Would I like them to put save points in somewhere? Yeah, probably, but I mean, I have seen some people get quite frustrated online because the game crashes and they've got to start again and they was like 3 hours in. Now that is frustrating, so I can certainly sympathise there. I do think it would benefit from some form of checkpoint scheme, because imagine if you've got 4 hours in and you're right on that last boss and you die, and you've got to go all the way to beginning and start again. Like, it's a little bit. It is a little bit. It is a little bit. I can see that being very frustrating. But as a whole, I think the game is very fun, very enjoyable. The sound with 3D headphones on is absolutely amazing. Like, I tried it with the 3D Pulse headphones, and wow, like the sound is like it's a Michael Bay movie. You know, like a Transformers type of thing going on. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. The way in which they've implemented the adaptive triggers is pretty cool, because you hold one at like 50% and you get one weapon, or you hold it at 100% and you get another weapon, and that's really cool. And you can like hold things down, charge certain weapons, and that's even cooler. So the way in which the adaptive triggers works is very interesting. I really like that. The rumble's cool, the sound's cool. It's just a very difficult game. Now, like I said, I don't want to change it. Apart from maybe that idea of putting save points in, possibly. But even then, probably not. But they need to sort out the crashing, obviously. And there's some areas in which you can get trapped in where you can't get out again. But they're side areas, not main missions. So it's not like, you know, as long as you avoid that area, you might be okay. But, like, it's certainly, there's no pun intended, but it's certainly the type of game I can see myself returning to quite a lot, just to see if I can do a bit better this time. Or I'll have a go on that for half hour while I'm between games, see if I can do a bit better. If I can't, alright, I'll jump back on my other game. A bit like I do with Resogun, really. I never did get the platinum in that, but I played it an awful lot. Well, this is just my first thoughts on Resogun. This is just my first thoughts on Returnal. I probably will do a full thoughts on it at something after I've played more, or if I can even get past that first boss. However, yeah, we'll certainly be talking more about this game at some point, I would have thought, because if they do put any patches out or anything different to change things, I might actually put it on the channel anyway, because it being one of the big PlayStation 5 games, and I want to do PlayStation 5 content on the channel more. And as the games come out, I'm going to be making sure I put out content for them. But yeah, thoroughly impressed. Just a little bit taken back. There was one bit where Like there's one just normal general buddy, and he launches himself at you. 2 hits, you go. It's like, crikey, that was a little bit brutal. Like, unbelievably brutal. That was. I just weren't expecting it, really. It was like, oh god, that was a bit of a hit. Anyway, if you do want to know any more about the game and my experiences so far with it, just drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you by all means. And I will be sporadically playing it, I think. I don't think I'm going to throw myself hardcore into it because of it giving me headaches. But like I say, that's probably just my own experience. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. I'll leave this bit of the video running out here. You can watch a little bit more. But yeah, very good game. And I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.